Welcome to the first episode of 8th House Studio. I have my friend over here today. Hi, welcome, birds. The birds have something to add to the podcast. So I have my friend over here, Bree.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, guys. Bree Miju. I'm so honored to be a part of her very first episode of 8th House Studio.
Yes, and the reason why I brought Bree on today for the very first episode is because Bree is an old soul. Okay, she is so old, like ancient, like before the time of human beings. So I wanted to talk to her about that because we definitely have had a past life connection, and I truly honestly was gonna ghost her after the first
True story.
True story.
Yes.
Because she has such a pungent, that's probably not the right word, really strong energy. Okay, I don't know how else to put it. Like when you're in her presence, it almost just like it envelops you, you know? Remember the time we went to the beach?
Yeah, that was a really bad experience. So we went there and there's so many people. It was super loud. There's so much music. And she wanted to do a group Reiki session.
Yeah.
Which was just the worst environment for that. And we just started pouring out our feelings to each other, like as if we'd known each other forever.
Yeah, we got pretty deep.
Yeah. And then it got really dark.
I just exposed my whole dirty underwear. Dirty laundry to her. Okay, we haven't gotten to that point yet. The whole time I was so nervous to meet you because on the way to meeting you, I kept seeing omens, as I like to call it. I probably was looking too much into it, but I saw a bunch of dead animals all in like a same position on their side as if they were sleeping. My favorite animal is a raccoon. So when I saw 2 dead raccoons back to back in a 30-minute drive, I was like, oh shoot, there's something here. You know, I had like a pit in my stomach. After hanging out, I called you, and I was just like, straight up, I think we've had some type of past life connection. I felt so scared. Like I feel like we've had a dark connection in the past life. Yeah. And I want you to kind of tell me.
And what did you feel again?
I felt, and it solidified when we were talking on the phone, that we were partaking in some kind of a ritualistic, dark magic, you know, dark shit.
Yeah.
Dark occult stuff.
Yeah. I just felt she was maybe just a little quiet, and I was like, I wonder why.
Yeah.
I guess I felt a past life connection with her when I found her on YouTube, because that is what brought me to connect with her, is going on YouTube, looking at her pick a card videos, and I immediately was like, okay, I need to connect with her because she's so authentic, she's real, she's raw, and I connect with her on a soul level. I feel like we'd get along. So I reached out to her, and she completely ignored me because she's like a big just kidding. She didn't respond, and then I messaged her again, and I was like, okay, she probably doesn't like me, so I unsent it, and then she finally responded. And so I was like, oh my god, like she's actually really down to earth, she's not stuck up or anything. And we just connected. And she told me about like the dark occult stuff. I agreed with that because that's what I felt like one of my past lives. I'm really connected to snakes, to fire, to dark stuff, like dark magic stuff. I did my aunt did a Reiki session on me.
Right.
And she
tell the girls.
She was like really like into it, you know, and then she was like, you know, I saw like a rope around your neck. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I actually saw a rope like around your neck. She had a vision, and your head like spinning.
Oh my god.
And I was just, I like visualized that, and I was like, what the you know? And she was like, yeah, I think that someone was like pulling on that. And it's funny because I did do a pick a card, and a past life pick a card, and it said oh, I feel like something around your neck, and that you were like an assassin, that you killed people, and you were killed for that. But I really want to know what me and her have had in the past.
Right. So we were thinking about like doing some kind of a meditation together to try to retrieve that information, because I'm really curious. She is really an old soul, and for me personally, I have tried doing past life regressions with astrologers, like with my chart, you know, with all kinds of means of guided meditation, doing meditation on myself, trying to access the Akashic records. If you guys aren't aware of what Akashic records is, it's like a vault where they store all your soul's information, past, present, and the future. When we were on the phone the other day, California had a huge earthquake, right? I don't know how far it reached, but like we were on the phone and everything started to shake, and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? Do I go outside? Do I grab my go bag? And being a Scorpio, I have like a go bag, okay? I have 2 go bags, one in the car, one in the house, because I'm just like, I just want to grab it if shit hits the fan. I'm always thinking about the end of the world. But basically, I was just freaking out. She's like, oh my God, no. Like, what did you say? You're like,
I was like, oh no, this is a good thing. That means that people are coming together and we're evolving as a human species.
It's like the shift, and like that's what we're experiencing physically,
this energetic
is the shift. And she was oddly calm.
I was so
guys.
Serious. I was so serious. Yeah.
And so when I told her, I was so hesitant to tell her when I first met her that I didn't feel like I should have been there that day because of all the dead animals. She's like, no, listen, Anza, the dead animals are a good omen. It means that there is a new beginning.
Yes, I did.
I'm not mocking you, by the way, but you just have this presence. Like when she talks, it's so calming. By the way, I found you out on YouTube way before you found me, because she's an artist. She's like, everything that she does, she like pours her own like soul into it, and like she's just an artist through and through. So she does like cover music, you know, she makes her own music. She does pick a cards too, you know, she reads you to filth. I mean, honestly, she read me to filth. Yeah, she did a little reading for me. You know, you're all knowing. Like, do you ever experience that you are not fearful of a lot of the things that normal people would be scared of?
Yes. Yeah, you know, I'm very calm. I'm a very calm person. Anything going on chaotic in my life, I'm not really fazed by it. Although I am an empath, I feel energies and I feel emotions. It's crazy. I was thinking the other day, the one thing that really affects me the most is anything emotional. As far as anything just like happening in the world, like earthly matters, it doesn't really affect me. Like people killing, shootings, stuff like that, like it doesn't affect me. But anything emotional or energetic really impacts me the most. So that's why I knew I've been through like war. I've seen a lot of murders, people being killed, all that stuff is just, I don't get fazed. Like I don't even get scared. Like I've seen a dead person before and I'm like, oh, looks like the movies. He was like,
it's like just another Tuesday.
Yeah. People have told me that. They're like, you know, you're not fazed by anything. Like you're so calm. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Right. It's just another cycle. I used to get a lot of deja vus. I still do. And that whenever I get that, I feel like, okay, I've probably been here in a past life, or I've been with this particular person. I know this person from a past life or whatever, which I felt strongly with you. But did you ever try to access your past life, or how were you revealed that you might be an older soul?
What really hit me was when I did have that dream about being a Native American. And I was in a cave, there was a fire, and I was with somebody that I know in this life. And so I was like, oh, I was with that person in that life. makes sense because that person's super cultured, loves to travel, very open-minded, and I was like, this makes perfect sense. I just remembered I was a Native American, there was feathers, there was a lot of red paint, there was we were in a cave, there was fire, and they were cooking something.
Yeah.
So, and it was very quick because in my dream I knew I was dreaming, and I knew that this was a past life dream. So I woke up and I couldn't go back. I should have just let it play because then I could have known more. But
yeah,
that's when I really knew. I was really drawn to dragons, mystical creatures, war, warriors.
She was just out here chasing squirrels earlier. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's really connected to nature.
Very connected.
Yeah.
I think I was like a medicine woman.
That's what I felt.
Yeah, she told me that the first day.
Yeah.
The first day that we met, or didn't even meet in person, she's like, I feel like you were some type of like medicine woman, dealt with a lot of herbs and nature. And I was like, that's crazy because that's what I'm drawn to now. Because I talk to trees. Right. If I really tune in, like I hear them talk to me, I feel them talk to me. Animals, like animal totems. It's true, when I've seen a lot of dead animals, a huge ending happened in my life. And it's been crazy spiritual ride.
And I think at that time I was fearful because I love raccoons so much. And I'm very hesitant to open up to new friendships because of my history and stuff like that. But I can honestly say that was true, even though I was trying to deny it. I was like, bitch, no, dead animal is a bad omen. And it could be bad or good. I mean, it's a major ending. But I think that when that happened, when we met each other, I was quitting my channel. Yeah. So that is a major ending for me, and I'm starting this now, and I feel like I can be more myself and do my own thing and get creative with it because I was really, really stuck in that cycle. So looking back, even though I was kind of denying it, it was honestly the truth. You have said that you met people in this lifetime. I strongly feel that way about my mom.
Yeah.
So in the 2 lifetimes that I remember, one lifetime I was a prostitute, and I was really struggling to take care of my child. So I had to give my child away to be taken care of by someone else. And I really felt so guilty about that. Even though I was doing what I could, felt really like, oh gosh, like, well, how can I do this to my own child? But I really think I've had such a struggle with my mom my whole entire life, like since birth. I never got along with my mom. We were always butting heads. We were always hurting each other. I really think that sometimes you can be reincarnated into a similar family dynamic. I think that my mom was my child in the past life.
Yeah.
And I think there is a lot of animosity and a lot of anger between us because there's this like, oh, you didn't love me, now you don't love me. It's like this like not getting enough nurturing and love and care on both ends. Like this time I had to experience it from my mom, where she really did not give me that motherly love that I was looking for. No shade, okay? I mean, honestly, this is my experience. I'm not trying to expose my mom or anything, but I just think that neither one of us were good to each other in both lifetimes.
I read the book by Brian Weiss called Many Lives, Many Masters, and it states that we've had more than 90 lives, and I really feel that I have had 90 lives or even more
like 90 million.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really connected to ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
I know that I was definitely like in that era, and I thought about it the other day. I was like, what's so crazy is we've lived this many lifetimes and Earth is still the same. The trees still look the same. We still have houses, and we still have the house dynamic is still the same. You have the children, you have the parents. The parents cook for the children. There's chores. It's pretty much the same. So it's kind of like just repeated lessons with different souls and different karma, but the setting is still the same. So I know how they say, life's a video game and we're all in like the Matrix.
Simulation.
Yeah. And so, I don't really know what to believe. I just know that what we're brought here, and this is kind of like a school. For instance, me and her, like, she could have been my enemy, like in a past life. We could have, fist fought and fought over, fought over something.
Maybe this will make us remember our past life.
Yeah. This life, we're, solving that, we're healing that.
Yeah.
I could have been a guy in my past life.
Exactly.
She could have been like an animal.
I probably was.
Like her favorite animal, a raccoon. And we're brought back here to learn the lessons if we haven't learned them already. And until we learn these very important lessons, we can't ascend to a higher being.
Yeah.
Either like an ascended master or a
liberation, moksha. I mean, a lot of religions talk about that. The goal is to get to that point of release, which is like the 12th house of just letting go of any kind of chains that are holding you back, or all the lessons you've accomplished. Essentially, you're graduating into a whole new realm of not having to come back as a human being, but being able to be like unbound by the shackles, basically.
Yes. It's unfortunate that a lot of people are not aware of this, and that there still is time, if you're still living, to reverse your karma, to do good deeds, to balance out the scales, so you don't have to come back here and repeat those same lessons. You can resolve them now. Be a good person, forgive, forget, don't get so attached to your ego, and just and love more. I know it's so hard, I know it sounds so corny, like love more and be a good person, and I know, but that is what God or the creator, whoever is trying to teach us, is that we need to love each other more.
With my mom, I could have just been like, if I didn't know what I know now about the dynamic between me and my mom and I would, I wish I would have known that at a younger age, because I could have been like, oh, okay, this is what it is. Like, I need to love her unconditionally. I need to show her what it's like to be nurtured, even though I'm the daughter, and even though I'm like the younger one. Maybe I've always felt my mom was a very young soul too, like both of us were. So it's very empowering to find that out about your past life, because then you could say, like she said, try to build some good deeds in your life by being there for people, by loving people, by trying to reverse some of the things that you may have done in the past, and really taking the initiative to grow and improve.
A lot of people nowadays, the twin flame trend and the soulmate trend, and they meet somebody and they're like, oh my god, this is my twin flame, or this is my soulmate, and they treat me like shit, but I have to stay with them because they're my twin flame, and we're gonna end up happily ever after. Like, no. Like, right? I mean, what do you feel about that?
I feel that, and I'm just gonna be honest here with like all tea, all shade, is that
all tea, all shade.
Everyone wants to fall in love. Everyone wants to find their significant other that they can, really love each other and share a life with, right? They all romanticize this notion of a soulmate and just like, finding this perfect partner or whatever. So love is such an important aspect of our life, probably one of the most, things that we search for. We talk about twin flame, soulmate, and a lot of the information regurgitated is so disempowering. It really takes you away from finding yourself. Not to say you can't fall in love, because absolutely we can, and certain relationships will come into our life karmically or whatever to remind us how important it is to first and foremost love ourselves. As far as the unhealthy information that's been spread about twin flame, I don't think you're meant to be with your twin flame. I don't think you're meant to stay with your karmic relationships. I think you're meant to ultimately get to that point where you
don't
growing.
Need anybody.
That you don't really need anybody, because we come into this world alone. We die alone. And I know that's such a maybe kind of a sad thing to say. But
It's the truth.
really it's about when we look at our chart, when we look at astrology or anything, even if you don't believe in all of that, this is the blueprint of our soul, and we are trying to get to that point of liberation, of, you know, ascending to this new level of consciousness, and not having to come back as human beings because we've already learned everything there is to learn. And I feel like if we're too attached to the notion of finding this person and that being our soul's, I don't know, like
purpose. Like journey, but it's not.
It's really, it really isn't.
Not. Society has like made it seem like that's our mission, is to find our partner and that's it. Yeah. No,
it's really about finding ourselves, as cheesy or corny as that might sound.
No, that's so true.
Partners can lead us there.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Right. So I feel like, you know, I've been married before and I feel like that was definitely a karmic relationship, because it brought me to the point of understanding that, boundaries are important. I can't put my dreams and my aspirations and my goals and my soul's development on the back burner just to save somebody, because ultimately you can't be saved unless you want to save yourself. You know what I mean? So karmic relations are important because it makes us realize the importance of a respect in a relationship, love, growth.
I think every relationship we encounter is karmic, you know, because it's some type of karma that we are playing out in many lifetimes. And until we resolve the karma with that person or that soul or within ourselves, that's when we don't have to repeat that lesson anymore. So yeah, I mean, life is karmic. It's just a bunch of lessons that you need to learn. Who knows? Like, maybe this is our last lifetime here on Earth.
It could be.
Yeah, it's a crazy thought. What's crazy is I have karmic numbers. If you guys look into that, you guys can go on Google and look at like your numerology chart, or if you do have a karmic debt number. So karmic debt numbers are pretty much you abusing your power and abusing your rights in a past lifetime. And so in this lifetime, you carry on this debt that you have to repay in this lifetime in order to clear out that karma and move smoothly through life and the lessons or whatever. So it's crazy because before I realized I had this karmic number, my life was pretty shit. Like, okay, so anything that like I'm saying now, I've already made YouTube videos about it. I used to work at these Vietnamese coffee shops in Orange County. It's kind of like underground. I was always drawn to these like cash like only type of businesses, very underground. Before that, I was in high school. I hated it. I used to eat lunch alone in the bathroom.
Oh my God, me too.
I used to eat lunch in the library alone. My high school experience sucked. Like elementary, middle school was fine, but high school sucked. And ever since then, I went to college and it was all right. And then I explored, I partied and stuff. And then, I got into this like underground type of like industry where I get paid cash and it was just quick money, and I couldn't get out of it. I was stuck in there for like 6 to 7 years. And then in the meantime, I tried, I was doing artist stuff. I was trying to sell shirts. I was trying to sell posters, just anything to make money, because I did not want to be in that environment anymore. And none of my business ideas worked out. Like I even tried to open a coffee shop at one point. It just failed. Like everything that I tried business-wise failed. And then I got into spirituality. I got into karmic debt numbers. I was like, wow, I have a karmic debt number 13. And it pretty much states that you had your creative gifts in your past lives and you abused them. Or you were lazy, pretty much. And I was like, okay, that makes sense, because that's why I was so drawn to quick money and didn't want to really work hard and plan my life, strategize, and be consistent with my goals. I just wanted the quick way out. So I had to work through that, and 13 karmic debt number states that in this life you're gonna reach a lot of dead ends, you're gonna reach a lot of failures, and it's teaching you to work hard so you actually can achieve success, compared to in your other lifetimes you didn't work hard at all, you didn't work at all. Everything was handed to you. So I realized I was surrounded by a lot of 13 karmic debt number people, and they all acted entitled just like me, and like, oh, we deserve like the champagne instead of like the wine. Bring it. We acted rich, and we had rich, expensive tastes even when we weren't. So meaning I could have like married a rich guy, or I could have was born into a rich family. I also have a 19 karmic debt number somewhere in my numerology chart, but that means that I abuse my power. And I wanted to be number one at all costs. Even
you were competitive?
Yes, even if that means I like screwed someone else over. So I am very competitive in this lifetime, and I guess I would do that because, I mean, I cheated in school, I stole a lot. In my music career, I tried to like know certain people. And not just like, that was the worst because, you know, I'm trying to find the easy way out, and that's not going to help me. You know, I realize I need to work. I need to not depend on anybody, and I need to write my own music. It's even been hard just finding a producer. That's actually when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do my cover songs, and I'm gonna try to make a name for myself. So that's when I realized I was like, I gotta put in the work by myself and not depend on other people.
So I don't have a karmic debt number, but I can agree with a lot of what you said. I mean, I worked in the night industry. I got paid under the table.
Right.
I had, you know, abused drugs. I had abused my body. I just was very like, oh, who cares? You know, like if I die tomorrow, I don't care. I'm actually really surprised I made it to 30. Like I always say that, but I'm very, very blessed because I was living life on the edge. I feel like in the next lifetime, I'm gonna have a karmic number for sure. For sure, I'm gonna be born with like several different karmic issues. But I think that you were drawn to that. You had to experience it in order to get a taste of it. Like you're a very curious person. For me personally, I only learn from doing. Like I don't care if your mother and your aunt tell you like, oh, just don't do this.
Yes.
Don't fall for this guy. This guy is no good. I'm just like, you don't know. Like, I'm just gonna taste it a little bit, try it out. I'm more of, I learn from experience, right? But yeah, like I was telling you that I really feel like in this lifetime, because you have so much spiritual knowledge and gift that you carry from your past life, it comes like second nature to you.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's very easy for you. As a kid, you were talking to trees, you were connecting with animals. Your mind was already in that spiritual realm, because they say until you're 7, like you are who you were in your past life. I don't know if that's true or not, but like I've had many paranormal encounters until I was about 7 too. So I'm going to talk about that next time. When you talk about your past life, that's your South Node, that's your K2, that's where your inspiration, that's where your juices flow. Like that's where your talents and gifts lie. So you shouldn't completely disregard that. You should integrate that to pursue a different lesson in this lifetime, like together, you know. And
what's crazy is that when I met Anza and she told me about her past, like doing the underground, like hostess bar stuff, I was like, that is so crazy, because me and her share very similar experiences being in that industry. And I was like, I've never really met somebody randomly that has done that same thing. I think there's a reason, like that's how I knew I had a past life with her.
I had a glimpse of her past life. Okay, let's just say there was a lot of people doing the deed, like in a circle.
Wait, what?
Is that too much?
You didn't tell me.
No, I felt like I told you.
No, you didn't.
Okay, this is what I saw, okay?
Well, like an orgy?
Yeah, straight up.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. Like, may God strike me if I'm lying.
Okay, please tell me everything, because
Okay, so
shoot.
here's what
the
it is.
tea is hot, sis.
Piping hot. I got a whole flask of it. Okay, but yeah, I for sure saw that it's almost like you were not in the circle. I was.
What was I doing? I was like conducting it.
Yeah, you were like off in the corner, like with your eyes rolled back, like just like sucking in the like sexual energy. And
you did not tell me this.
I told you. So after we were talking, I was pulling cards. Okay, I was pulling cards and I kept getting like the Tower, the Devil, like
what happened
the
in our
Lovers.
past life. No, but I felt that when you did that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like I felt it. I'm like I know she's doing it.
Like, bitch, I see right through you. I don't need a FaceTime to see what you're doing.
Yes. See, this is what happens when you have another psychic friend.
Yeah.
You have no space, privacy.
It's like, excuse me, take off your shoes before you enter my energy. I for sure saw that she was the one conducting this whole operation of people just in a round circle of an orgy, like just doing each other in all the right holes and all the wrong holes. And I just was like, I felt out of control of my body.
Was I a guy or was I a girl?
You were a woman.
What did I look like? Do you remember or no?
Really long black hair.
Was I Asian?
No, you weren't Asian. You
What was
weren't. I don't know what you were. Maybe like islandy vibes.
Oh my God.
Is what I got. Like more of an islandy vibe. I don't know if that's like politically correct. But
and I was like conducting the orgy.
yeah, you were conducting the energy. You did not have a top on. So it's like your hair covered your like boobages. It really was that. It really was a very ritualistic environment.
So cool.
And I felt that I could not control my body. That's why I think some of the fear.
So were you involved in the?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
you were involved in it.
Yeah, I was involved in it.
Oh, okay.
But then I felt like I wasn't the one wanting to do it.
But I was like controlling you.
Yeah, controlling everybody in the circle.
Did you recognize anyone else in the circle?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I feel like when I'm with you, I can't control my mind.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. Now it's gone, obviously, because we confronted it. I think a lot of times when we confront our fears and say, like, now what, bitch?
Right.
What are you going to do now? The fear is like, oh, you get scared, you know? And it retreats back into itself. I felt that was like too extra to tell her because we only hung out once.
Oh my God. Wait, so
point.
why did you think I was doing that? What feeling did you get from it?
I felt as if you were a very powerful woman, and I felt that you had the ability to control people's inhibitions,
right,
and make them do things that they normally wouldn't. But I think that you also have that ability in this lifetime, but in a little bit more of a productive way.
Yes.
I have never seen anything like what you put out, and I'm not licking your ass or anything. I literally felt when I saw your videos before you even reached out to me that you had something that I have never seen. With each video that you put out, you have a different persona. Okay, and you're very, very artistic. It's not just like the same pattern over and over. You can mold yourself into any character. And you have a diverse range of, like, even like when I hit the camera, like I'm really awkward in front of the camera, but she's like, okay, let's go. Like she has this like mood that she can tap into. You can shapeshift.
Yes.
You could shapeshift in the past life.
Yeah.
In this lifetime too, in some type of capacity.
Yeah.
And I felt that maybe you were harnessing that energy, the sexual energy of other people, maybe not for the greatest good. I'm
maybe
putting
for
that
like
lightly.
my own enjoyment.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
It's
cool.
like it was
Just
like
kidding.
you charging.
What?
What
do you mean?
You were charging, like you were like a battery, like charging.
Oh, like
from,
everyone else's sexual energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
By
makes
them being
sense.
plugged in, it was plugging into you.
Yeah.
Literally.
You know what? I can totally see myself doing that
Yeah.
because like
an energy vampire almost. No. In the past.
an energy vampire, but like with actually doing like deep magic, like dark magic.
Yeah.
I can't believe I did that to you. I'm so sorry.
No, I mean, you know, like I probably did that too. There was a guilt here because I feel like I was being apprenticed to you, or like you were teaching me the ways.
Maybe you were actually getting the people to me.
Yeah.
Like type of thing. And I was making you do that.
Yes.
And I was like, get these people for me.
Yes. You were like the pimp. I was like the hoe. I was just like, hey girls, you want to work on the street?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we both have had experience working in that kind of field.
Maybe that, oh my God, maybe that connects to that.
Because we were working a very sexual environment.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Very, very that. So the other day when I was talking to you, I noticed your big chunk of Moldavite on your neck. So I decided to wear mine as well. Mine's a little baby one.
Yes.
Yeah. Moldavite was the most powerful crystal that I have ever owned in my life.
Right.
And this crystal right here is a meteorite, I believe, but the moment that I got it boosted me into remembering my past life, and accessing my Akashic records and meeting my spirit guides and connecting to the Arcturians. How did you feel about, why did you get it, and how do you feel?
I was just scrolling through YouTube one day. I came across this guy talking about the most powerful crystal, Moldavite, and I was instantly drawn to it. I knew I had to have it. I bought it on Etsy the next day or that night. And watch out, there's a lot of fake Moldavite out there. So make sure you're getting the real authentic thing. I already knew it was being shipped to me and it was gonna arrive that day because I felt the energy coming towards me like
tracking.
Yes, and I instantly felt empowered. I was owning my creativity, I was owning my talents, and I was like, wow, I haven't felt like this in a long time. And I just knew that the Moldavite was coming, and it came that day. I wore it, and the first time I felt it, it was so hot. It was like vibrating in my hand. I put it on, and that day I do eyelash extensions, and these clients were kind of trying to jip me, and I was just super upfront to them, and I felt very unapologetic, very bold, and just said what I wanted to, and being fearless.
Yeah.
So it brings like that rapid transformation.
Yeah.
What does it do for you?
And the fact that, like, because I had it on my chest when I was meditating on it, right when I got it. And so much information came to me, and it's almost like my heart chakra expanded. So I felt a lot of feelings I didn't want to feel, but I knew that I had to work on, like trauma and
from
remembering.
past,
Yeah, but it definitely is very powerful. Thing is, though, I can't sleep with it in my bedroom. It's that powerful. It's like a powerful Red Bull. So
yeah, like when I have it right here, like my heart starts beating so fast as if I'm on caffeine, but I'm not.
So I asked you guys if you guys had any questions for the podcast, so we're gonna read a few.
What are some of the best ways to help you remember all of your past lives?
Start by making yourself familiar by reading books like Brian Weiss. He has a couple of books out. Edgar Cayce talks about the past life. There's some ancient texts that talk about it. Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, all that kind of stuff. Jainism. And you know, you could do a lot of guided meditations, but ultimately what I strongly believe personally is that it only comes to you when it's supposed to, in divine timing. Because some informations you're not ready to receive. Like when I talked about the whole past life with me and my mom, I only really found that out about like around my Saturn return. That certain information was brought to me when I was ready to heal from it, because I just wasn't ready before. You just gotta ease into it. You can use cards, you know, you can go to divination, you could do Reiki like she has.
And also pay attention to any type of eras you're drawn to. Like if you're drawn to ancient Egypt, the 70s style, certain music.
That's me. I feel drawn to 70s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, you definitely were in 70s.
Yeah.
I noticed that too. You have like a 70s style.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Thank you.
Or your dreams. You can have them in your dreams. Glimpses of your past lives. Also on YouTube, they have free past life regression, hypnosis. You can listen to those.
Oh my gosh, it's really trying to get a reading.
We should. Wow, seriously? That's
Amanda, please asks, you have a podcast? What is it called? Yes, I do. It's called 8th House Studio. Sorry, the camera.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, and you can get early access to other contents on my Patreon, and early access to episodes. We do group Reiki sessions on there as well, weekly pick-up cards and monthly predictions as well that are only on Patreon. So Candy Bud asks, if you believe that you have a soul family that you reincarnate back into different lifetimes, does that mean your so-called parents aren't really your mom and dad? Because in a different lifetime, their soul could have been a friend or a cousin. This question may be dumb, but it's crossed my mind, and I'm curious to know what others think about it. I think we kind of touched on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can be incarnated into different people, different sexes, different animals.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you do have a strong lesson that you have to learn from one another, chances are you're going to be already reincarnated into a close dynamic.
Yes.
Otherwise, yeah.
I don't think I said this, but I truly believe that the people that we have connections with already in this lifetime, we have had in many other previous lifetimes. You know, it's almost as if we're reincarnating with the same people, but the genders could be reversed, or our roles can be reversed.
Candy Bud again, can your past life affect how you are in this life? Always been terrified of having a child of my own, specifically how it comes out of your body. It's horrid. It's something I've never been able to get over, and I just don't have a good reason for why I am the way I am, and just maybe think something horrible had happened in my past life. There is a technique in astrology in Gemini that you can look up, like how you may have died in a past life. And for when I was testing it, it's pretty accurate because I am terrified of heights. Like, I'm very claustrophobic. And I feel like maybe in the past life, I may have fallen off of a tall building or a mountain or something, and then I died. Or something really horrible happened. That's why I'm really scared of all of that. Maybe for you, you're scared of childbirth. Maybe you've never been a human before, and your anatomy, you're like, oh, how does that happen? Like growing another person in my body. Like, that has definitely terrified me too as well. Being that I am not from here. Like, I've only had a few lifetimes here.
You know, you're terrified of childbirth. I mean, I don't know. This could have happened. You know, you could have unfortunately died from giving birth in your past life. You know, to be honest, I don't really have any crazy fears in this life either.
Because you've experienced everything.
But wouldn't you think that, like, if something traumatic happened in one of my lives, like, I would be like...
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's... More than one person asked that question about phobias from the past life.
Oh, okay.
So I think a lot of us wonder about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, so yes, definitely. If you have a phobia, if you're scared of water, you could have drowned in your past life.
Yeah.
And really, I truly recommend the book Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss. It literally gives so much insight on actual people and their experiences.
You can read about Edgar Cayce. Brian Weiss has an oracle deck, actually, about past lives. I'm trying to think, like Dolores Cannon. There's a bunch of books. You know, I'll probably link it down below. You have some YouTube channels that you recommended to me too.
Oh yeah. My gosh. Shamanic Oaks.
Yeah.
Shamanic Oaks on YouTube. He does a lot of healing through his channel, he talks about his past life and how he got burned by fire.
So you would think like by you looking in the past, you're not progressing, but it's actually the opposite. I think it could tell you so much about who you are and what shortcomings you have, what you need to work on, what you need to proactively pursue,
what you need to heal.
I do, past life readings. I incorporate like astrology and tarot and Reiki into it. But ultimately, I feel like when you connect it yourself, when you finally make that personal connection, it's so powerful. Like meditating on it, it coming to you in a dream or whatever.
When doing a past life regression, how do you know that what you're experiencing through the meditation isn't just my imagination towards something that appeals to me in pop culture?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I honestly can't answer that question because every time I've tried doing a past life regression, I don't see anything, but I know you have.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is by Genesis. Thank you so much for commenting always, and I think you email me as well, so thank you. But that is a fear that I think a lot of people have. Like they're like, oh, am I just imagining this? But really, when it clicks, it clicks. Like, for example, I sent her that video that kind of reminded me of what we may have experienced, but it's not the whole truth, And something has to click. There is a reason why I saw that clip and was like, oh, this is it. When it comes to my past life, there is a specific song that when I hear that song, I'm like, I start crying. The first time I heard the song, there's no way that I understood the meaning of the song because it's called I Dreamt a Dream. But it's really about this woman just struggling, like really down on, just in the gutter of life, like really a sad story that I don't think you really know the meaning until you're an adult woman. But for some reason at like 5-6 years old, I was sobbing when I heard that song because I remember that kind of is very similar to what I went through in the past life. So it's just like an inner knowing. If you think that you're imagining it, maybe give it a little time. Certain synchronicities will start to happen. You might get really emotional about it, and that's when you know it hit you, like that you really did experience it. So Mariana Elizabeth Paredes Pericon asks, ways to break a karmic bond with somebody.
Yeah.
Oh.
So me and her have both experienced karmic relationships, which is the most difficult experience you can go through with somebody. So first of all, knowing that you're actually in a karmic relationship, it's going to feel very intense, very addictive, but so bad for you, and you know it. And in order to break that, honestly, you have to just walk away. Yeah. I don't know what else.
When you are sexually involved with somebody, okay, or you don't even have to be sexually involved, but especially when you are, and as a female, you're letting that energy into you, right? And there is, even after breaking up, first and foremost, you should walk away once the lesson is learned, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't keep coming back to it. After you have been separated, you could still feel that connection. So in order to cut that completely, there's like cord cutting ceremonies that you could do, rituals that you could do. For me, for example, I work with candles and a ribbon or a rope. And I physically, there's a lot of animals out here, physically cut it, with my intention like, okay, this is done. Finally, I burn the rope so that the connection between us is completely severed and into the flames, right? I learned this from somebody, my friend. I have a crystal called Shiva Lingam. And what I do is I use that crystal to, this might get a little graphic. That's why I have a Patreon, guys. I might cut it out for YouTube. But, you pleasure yourself with that crystal and imagine you gaining back your own power. Like your body is yours and yours only. And it is your temple. And, you just sort of imagine that energy being sucked out of you into the trash can, into the ethers, right? There's several different things that you could do. But I feel that sometimes the connection does linger. So it's important to try to figure out how to cut that out.
Yeah. Get a smooth crystal for that.
Yes. Oh. Yes, girl.
Yeah.
Do not get a little pointy one. You're gonna get a blade on there. Okay. So that was such a fun episode.
Yes.
Like I had so much fun talking to you and getting to know you better.
Healing too, to talk about it.
Right. Yeah. So if you guys are interested, you guys can leave your suggestions for future topics and future episodes, as well as questions that you might have about anything related to the 8th house, sex, the occult, the mysticism, the life and death, transformation. We've both gone through a lot of transformations as well. Just leave them in the comment section down below. I'm planning on doing episodes on the paranormal because Halloween's coming up, so I'm excited about that. If you guys want to find Bree, where can we find you?
I have a YouTube at Bree Miju. I do mostly covers there. I do vlog sometimes, or my Instagram. I post content at Bree Miju.
Yeah. All right. See you guys next time.
Okay. Bye.